I'm Duncan Green. Welcome to Gym Hacks, your daily 10-minute dose of tips, techniques and innovations to make your fitness club stand out, more fun to run and more profitable. 600 seconds of takeaways that will make a difference. Our aim is to provide the very best free content on the web for you gym owners and operators. If you like our content, register for our free 6-week Exponential Growth Formula program. We're helping fitness club professionals generate the maximum revenues possible. Register below to enroll on the next program, which starts on the 1st of next month. Once you've registered, we'll send you the logins automatically. Also, check out our unique implementation service. This is a 100% done-for-you program of effective fitness club marketing, and it's supported by the strongest guarantees anywhere in our sector. Click below for details on this incredible service. But right now, let's get back to today's gym hack. It's very important that you create this structure and you stick to it. Starts with an annual 2-day outside the building company vision and 1-year plan. Remembering this quarterly concepts that we thought. And then every quarter, we then review the vision, look at the previous quarter's rocks, the objectives, did you achieve them? Establish the next quarter's rocks, the next quarter's objectives, and resolve any issues that came out of the last quarter. And then on a weekly basis, you have a very fixed 90-minute meeting for the same people about a certain range of items, depending on which of the 3-4 teams they're in. Are they in the general management, covering the overall management of the club, or are they in innovation, execution, or quantification? And within each of those three areas and each weekly meeting, what are the numbers that you are managing by? How do we know from the numbers themselves whether we are reaching our goals, our rocks for that particular quarter? And are those objectives, are we on track to achieve them at the end of the quarter? The other thing that the weekly meetings must do is to uncover employee and customer satisfaction and equally dissatisfaction. And whatever those issues are caused by, they need to be resolved. And that's the main mission of the 90-minute cycle, is about making sure that everybody feels great, that they have this GWC, that they understand where they're heading for the next 12 weeks. They're clear about their goal. They know how it's going to be measured. They know exactly how to deliver it, and they know when they'll be reporting on it at the next weekly meeting. And the weekly agenda, which starts at the same time each week, at exactly the same time on the clock face, finishes 90 minutes later, has a very disciplined and strict agenda that goes with it. Quick run through of the weekly level 10 meeting. First thing, 5-minute segue. Good news. Round the room, all the people in that building, in that room, good news on a professional level and a personal level in the last 7 days. 5 minutes tops, quick headlines. Then they go into scorecard, the numbers which that particular group of people, that particular meeting is responsible for. Are we on track? How did we do last week compared to where we wanted to be? Then you look at the objectives that we're trying to achieve in the next 12 weeks. And in that particular week, have we made the strides that you wanted? Are you on track, better than, worse than? And coming out of that will be a list of to-dos which need to happen. 5 minutes. Customer and employee headlines, business related, 5 minutes on the different areas of the business, good news and issues that you need to raise. And then the main point of the meeting, 60 minutes, IDS. It's about issues, and you need to get honesty within the meeting. People must come to that meeting knowing that they're going to be heard. And the whole point of the IDS is to identify your issues. That's the I of IDS. Identify the issues. And what you do first is you just go around the meeting and you just you brainstorm all the issues that are preventing getting successfully to the rocks for that particular quarter. And they could be anything from lack of resources, lack of motivation, people haven't done what they're supposed to have done, but you need to create a list of issues. Then you get to the D of IDS, and the D is deciding which are the main issues in order. And what you're going to do, because you're going to do a very fixed 60-minute component of this meeting and no more, you need to take every issue in order of importance. And you're going to then discuss it. And what happens when problems and issues get discussed is people feel as though they've been listened to. They feel as though the meeting is working for them, that there is positives that come out of it. And you then hopefully are able to get to an S, a solution. So IDS, identify the problems and issues. D, discuss them. S, solve them. And the solution may be building more to-dos. And those to-dos, the aim of a to-do list is to do it within the 7 days to the next meeting. You'll notice the segue 5 minutes, scorecard 5 minutes, rock review 5, customer headlines 5. That's to-do list. That's 5. That's 25 minutes plus the 60-minute IDS. So that's 85 minutes of the meeting. And now we go into the final 5 when you recap the to-do list so that everybody in the meeting knows who is responsible for doing what task by the following meeting. If the person actioned with that task is not in the meeting, then that message needs to be cascaded down. And it needs to be agreed exactly who's going to cascade that message. The final thing, and why this meeting is called the level 10 meeting, is because then the final part of the meeting is to go around and ask for a rating out of 10 of how effective everybody in the room felt about the meeting. 1, it was a complete waste of time, no need for them to have been there. 10, as they felt engaged, listened to, vital cog in the wheel, and delivering something. They could see the positive nature of that particular meeting. And so you need to just make sure that you're always operating at this level 10 area. And see, there are reasons why you need to create this meeting cycle. And it doesn't have to be a live face-to-face meeting. It can be Zoom, software like Slack, which is team coordination software, free to use, lots of opportunities, but it doesn't have to be in the room stuff because that can be different for fitness clubs. But you must have this opportunity to get together. Here's why. 5 dysfunctions of a team on the right-hand side. Main one you always see in any dysfunctional team is a lack of trust. People hide from each other. They don't like the idea of accountability, so they conceal their weakness. They dread meetings for fear of being found out. And out of that comes this fear of conflict. They know that at some point there is going to have to be some confrontation about the problems and issues that the business is going through. And so they skirt around it. They hide themselves away. So it's very important that you avoid this fear of conflict. Once you've covered those 2 bases, you can then move up the pyramid and address this lack of commitment. And that lack of commitment always comes because people seem to be getting away without doing what they should have done. So nobody feels inclined to try to go that extra mile because everybody else seems to be avoiding it. And above that means an avoidance of accountability. It means, well, there's no point in judging me by this idea you've got because nobody else is responsible for their area. You don't address it. It just is allowed to happen. And you can see how these things snowball. And right at the top of the pyramid is with dysfunctional teams, there is an inattention to results. If you don't measure the important numbers, you can't make people accountable. If you haven't got accountability, you very rarely get commitment. And if you don't have commitment, you get conflict and a lack of trust. And all of that breaks up the team. Thanks ever so much for listening. See you next time.